Well, welcome back. Quiet markets. Let's get y'all caught up on the whirlwind of yesterday's action and set the stage for what promises to be another thrilling Thursday, which, let's be honest, is just the opening act for the main event tomorrow on Friday. Good morning to you over in Asia. Still is evening here, Wednesday in the States. But yeah, again, it's just the main act. So it was a good day where the US dollar decided to take a little bit of a nap. Gold and silver were basically screaming to the moon. And everyone started nervously glancing at their calendars, realizing that Friday's jobs report is lurking just around the corner. So the big story from Wednesday was that the US dollar finally took a breather after its recent sprint. The greenback traded on the defensive, setting aside its gains as investors took a hard look at the recent spike in global yields and decided maybe that coffee was a little too strong. So adding to the dollar's soggy cereal morning was more evidence of a cooling labor market. The JOLTS job openings report showed vacancies falling to their lowest level in nearly a year, which is basically the economic equivalent of seeing a help wanted sign get taken down. It seems even the job market is embracing a quieter, more minimalist lifestyle, much like our stream. Factory orders also contracted, underscoring some persistent weakness. This data cocktail was all the excuse the market needed to ramp up bets on a Fed rate cut later this month. Currently pricing it in at a whopping 94% probability. Actually just checked since I wrote this news article an hour ago, it's up to 96.6%. So it's probably going to fluctuate in that 90% range here over the next week and a half till that report releases. So it's like the market has already bought the party hats and the Fed hasn't even sent out the invites yet. With the dollar on the back foot, though, the euro saw a chance to shine, trimming its losses and pushing back toward the 1.17 level. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in the Eurozone, though, as their services PMI missed forecasts. But sometimes it's not about your own strength, but your opponent's weakness. It's the Forex equivalent of winning a race because the other guy tripped over his own shoelaces. Over in the UK, the pound managed to claw its way back above the 1.34 level after a rough start to the week. And Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey did his best to be a buzzkill, however, cautioning that the bank is still just in the discussion phase about its bond buying programs. He basically said, let's not get ahead of ourselves, people, putting a bit of a dampener on sterling's party. And speaking of parties, let's talk about the precious metals because, my goodness, did they have a day. Gold didn't just break records, it vaporized them, soaring past $3,570 per ounce for its seventh straight day of gains. It's in full, I don't see any ceiling mode. Not to be outdone, though, silver decided it was time to relive its 2011 glory days, blasting past $41 an ounce to hit a 14-year high. These moves are all fueled by that same expectation of a Fed pivot. It seems every piece of soft data is another log on the bonfire for gold and silver bulls. Their relative strength indicators are screaming overbought, but in this market, that just seems to mean extremely popular at the moment. Now let's shift our focus to today's economic calendar because it's absolutely packed with potential landmines and opportunities. It is the final warm-up lap before the non-farm payrolls main event tomorrow on Friday. So for the U.S., we do have a whole smorgasbord of data. We'll get the weekly initial jobless claims, the ADP employment change report, which, let's be clear, has a historically shaky relationship with the official NFP. But we all watch it anyway like it's a preview for a movie we know will be different. And the ISM services PMI data as well. So we'll also hear from the Fed's John Williams. Traders will be hanging on his every word, looking for any hint about September's decision. It's like trying to decipher a subtle nod from a poker player with a great poker face. And it's not just a U.S. show today. Earlier, Australia released its trade balance data, which did show a slightly smaller surplus than expected. The Aussie dollar is always trying to ride the wave between Chinese economic data and global risk sentiment. And today it's feeling a little wobbly. But meanwhile, up in Canada, the loonie is under pressure as expectations build for a Bank of Canada rate cut next week. This has helped the USD-CAD currency pair push higher towards the 1.38 handle. It does seem the Bank of Canada might be even more eager to cut rates than the Fed, which is quite the race to the bottom. So to sum it all up for you traders tuning in, yesterday was about a weakening dollar fueling a rally in equities, a surge in metals, and a cautious comeback for major currencies. So today we've got a data deluge, which will either confirm the slowing economy, rate cuts coming narrative, or throw a massive wrench in the works. But remember, with all this volatility, it's a great time to be watching the markets, but maybe not the best time to be attempting brain surgery. So stay sharp, stay nimble. Let's have a great stream. This is Quiet Markets, and we're going to go live now. Back to you guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, I hear somebody. Is that Coach T?
No, it is. That it is. Oh my gosh, I can't see you. We're flying blind here.
I know. I've just been kind of going back and forth on the YouTube stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I
Even
just see a
even
nice,
that, it's a couple of
beautiful.
second delay here.
Yeah, I see a nice, beautiful living room set up, and
Yeah, right.
that is all I can
Taking it,
see.
taking a page out of Coach Michael's book down there in Mexico. Looks like
Yeah.
Coach Daryl's up late. Man, that
Yep.
guy never sleeps.
Well, shoot, this is only 6:18 his time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's
He
got to be
just.
up early to trade those Eastern markets.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I
Well,
mean, so
back
do you
end, are we
guys. He
going to be
freaking
riding?
never
Are
never
we able to
sleeps.
share our screens and such? Let us know that. And I guess we can just talk into our blank living rooms, huh?
I
That's,
know.
that's the
You know what it
case.
looks like? It looks like a bedroom out of Monsters Incorporated or something. And I know
Oh, for
everybody can't
yours?
see it on the stream, but yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. For everyone watching, we're just looking at this nicely lit, dimly lit uh, background. We can't really see each other, which is tough. But
Yeah.
all good here.
No worries on that. Yeah. I know that we can also kind of click on over on Zoom, on our main platform, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
hear you. I hear you
find
there.
it. Let me click on that.
Yeah,
Just
looks like
click on
Coach Daryl's giving me some crap on my little haircut. Yeah, the little boy's regular. And of
it.
course, again, tigers, you can't even see it. I mean, I just got a little something taken in on the sides. It's all good.
I see
We
it
were
on the
actually
YouTube
supposed to.
stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There you go. All right, we were actually
Yep.
supposed to shave our heads. I guess that was the deal. Last week we had a little bit of a trading combine or a trading challenge. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we had a little bit of a trading challenge, and Coach Daryl was a winner. We were trading some
Oh,
lean
okay.
hogs. Myself, Paul, Sam. Um, And yeah, and I think we're gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to shave their head. Maybe it's myself or Sam. I don't know. It's still like what 12 hours before we start the futures takeoff session tomorrow morning, so anything can happen overnight.
Yeah. 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 I was watching a little bit of their competition. Yeah. Their
Yeah,
1 hour comp.
what was the winning prize? Anything?
Oh, I don't even know what that was. Yeah. I just saw that Coach D had uh, won it, I guess.
Yep, of
Let's
course.
see.
Oh, of
Coach
course.
Sam's. So Coach Sam and Coach Paul started. They kind of started off a little slow, but they came on strong at the very end to make it competitive, from what it looked like. So
Oh,
yeah, that was
gotcha. I
cool.
gotcha. Well, there's no beating Sam's little scalping strategy. It is truly unbelievable. Oh, Coach Earl says no
It's
prizes. No prizes. That's unfortunate. A free
just
direct
pride
account
and
would be
ego.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
bragging right. There
Well,
you
there's
go.
enough of that. There's enough of that bragging and the
Yeah,
pride and the ego. That's for sure.
nice. Yeah, yeah. We got this Grand Prix championship thing for us starting as well on
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah, yeah. Is that on the
Yep,
7th it starts?
starts on the 8th. So Monday the
Oh,
8th.
okay.
Yeah, and I assume that's
Nice.
for everybody. Is that right? Do you know much about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
We actually have a futures Grand Prix as well. For anyone in the chat watching, be
okay.
sure if you're trading futures, you register. It's right when you log into your Hola Prime account. If you literally go under, I believe it's challenges or something. It's just a couple clicks away.
Competition tab, I think it is. Yeah. So it
Competitions.
should
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it should be the same for futures and for Forex. So but yeah, you guys and gals can register throughout the rest of this week and weekend. End of that registration would be Sunday. So through Sunday the 7th. But yeah, on Monday, September 8th is the start of that challenge. And just off the top of my head, since I know we can't see the screenshots, you'll get a $5,500 account, a demo account, I guess, to trade. And so they're giving prizes to the top 20 people as far as how you finish top 20, but the top prize is a $5,500 cash prize. So
Oh
um,
yeah, absolutely.
So I know that the rules on that. I believe you can't have a 7% loss or greater, and then you can't have a three
Mm-hmm.
percent loss or greater in any one single day. So that's really it.
Okay.
You can news trade if I remember correctly. Um,
Wow.
but
Perfect.
yeah, you're playing essentially for those top 20 spots, but obviously the top prize gets that fat cold hard cash prize, and we'll definitely be shouting you out on our socials as well.
Yeah, a thousand
Yeah,
percent.
get you a little airtime. So yeah, that's going to be a nice, fun way to break up the. I don't want to say the monotony of the trading week, but it can get monotonous, right? Trading trading isn't the
Sometimes.
same
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it's not the same as
No.
going
No.
like for me karaoke or bowling or going to watch a movie or whatever the case is, right? Whatever you guys and gals hobbies are. So this is just a kind of a fun way to break it up a little bit, get you guys and gals some cash prizes as well, and have fun. It's always good to add in little wrinkles like that from time to time. So, but yeah,
Add in
just make sure and get signed up.
100%.
Whenever we get our setup up here, we'll be able to drop in that Discord link as well. Perhaps back end's probably busy right now, but whenever you guys are unbusy, if we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get that
With
link added in. But yeah, that'll be a nice fun little thing to do. So, but
yeah.
well, listen,
100%.
until we get our screens working, how did your trading day go, Coach
Oh,
T?
my trading day. Yeah, my trading day went okay. Um, again, like I've been doing these, direct accounts, and actually, I wanted to ask you: do you guys have direct accounts on the Forex side?
Yes,
Okay, all right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We
So yeah, I
skipped
got,
the
I got,
trading phase.
yeah, yeah. No challenge for me. I've been doing enough challenges. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I feel like I only have a certain amount of years left doing this job because who wants to be trading for 50
Yeah,
years, or maybe it's a good
yep,
thing. Who knows? But yeah, so I have a couple of direct accounts, and I trade them live on the stream. And then I
yeah,
post, a couple of the trading ideas into the Discord and to the Twitter. But yeah, the trading day was pretty good. Early morning. Let's see what was going on here. Well, we had some data dump jolts. Yeah, the job openings,
hmm
10 a.m. So I mean, it was kind of just a quiet, not to be punny, but it was a quiet market, honestly, until
yeah,
that 10 a.m. Data dump. So there's really nothing going on. And then the market was kind of languishing, trying to pick whether or not it wanted to go up, wanted to go down. It traded a
hmm
little bit higher, actually in the immediate term, like the first 5 minutes post data. Nasdaq was headed south, and it was like, okay, is this going to be another leg down or not? But then we ended up rallying after the market digested some of that data, and like I said, it was kind of just up and to the right, and then down and to the right, up and to the right, down and to the right, just oscillating,
yeah,
flowing back and forth. But it made out to be a pretty good trading day. It was kind of hard. I know the old adage, right, is the market likes to take the escalator up and the elevator
yeah.
when it goes down.
Winding
And yeah,
out.
some of those longs, it was like, this slow grind, up 20
Yep.
points, down 10, up 30 points, down 15. It's like, two steps forward, one step back type thing. So that was kind of hard. But
Yeah.
all in all, P&L, I think my P&L in the day, I was up 1,700 in one account. That puts me eligible again for another payout tomorrow. So we'll be sure to try to show again as much of the payout process as I can. I want to show the whole thing. I want to share my entire screen so that we can transparent prop firm.
hmm
But I don't know if it's something that I can do because I know that you can see your account number, which is actually your login number, so
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, I got you.
yeah, I don't want someone to be taking my account number and then spamming it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all in all, it was a good trading day. Good trading day. I mean, I'd say the best trading days are when I'm up a couple $1,000 in the first hour. And then it's kind of just one of those things where you're done for the day, go
Yeah.
about your business and wait for tomorrow. So, and
There you
I
go.
kind of got that today, which was good. How about yourself?
I went 2-1 today, so just a couple
Yeah.
small winners, one tiny
Hmm.
loss. I think what was my loss today? CAD Swiss, I think it was. Let me look real quick
Yeah. Yeah.
here. Yeah, CAD Swiss had a small loss on it, and then I jumped into a gold trade and a XAU USD trade, and then a euro dollar trade towards the end of. This was all on Forex Fire this morning. The other two,
Yeah.
latter two, fairly close to the end, but yeah, those two were
Hmm.
pretty good. I was just looking for. So I'm still kind of playing around with that London, that first 30 minutes of the London Open, just kind of getting that
Yeah. Yeah.
range, looking for a breakout. Trying to keep those breakouts within my overall fundamental score, whether it's a bullish or bearish.
Sure. Yeah.
Just to have that extra little vote of confidence in it, albeit it's just for smaller time frames. But yeah, just
Yeah.
caught a couple of those that jumped pretty nicely. Gold, of course, has been going crazy lately, breaking the
Yep.
all-time highs.
100%. Yeah. It's
Silver
amazing.
trailing. Yeah, so I was just just trying to catch that breakout. I don't do a lot of the breakout trades, but with the momentum of gold, with the fundamental score being so well,
Yeah.
I just latched on there and rode that one up. And yeah, same thing with the euro
Nice.
dollar. It was giving me a bullish score this morning. So yeah, 2-1, green day. Can't complain about a green day. Can't go broke taking a
No,
profit.
no.
But but yeah, gold is still currently my most bullish asset. I mean, everybody
Uh-huh.
knows my little scoring system, 5 or higher is bullish. Well, gold is up to 13 now, so it's actually jumped quite a bit. I think this morning before all the data come out, I think it was only like an 8 or something like that. So it's jumped about
Yeah.
5 points just in half of an intraday session. So,
Gotcha.
or pretty much an intraday session, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and I actually, whenever, hopefully, chat, we were working on getting our charts back to working again so we can start sharing some for you soon. But yeah, I actually copied and pasted a couple cool little charts to look at. As far as let me look here. What was that? The Jolts job openings. I've got a chart I'm going to share with you, kind of showing the last year's worth of Jolts job openings, and to show you kind of the trend on that, how they've been going. I went ahead and threw the inflation numbers up there for the consumer price index, the producer price index, just to kind of give you an understanding of what the Fed is looking at, and also, of course, the PCE, which is their favorite way of tracking inflation. So we'll take a
Yeah.
look again whenever we get our charts functioning here in a moment. We'll take a look at those to show you what they're looking at, to show you how they're making their decisions, or at least a big part of it, right? Inflation, jobs numbers. But yeah, like I said on the news piece, we're up to 96.6%. Of course, that thing fluctuates quite often as far
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
the CME site. I'm actually going to go check it out again. I'm sorry. That's the commitment of traders. Where is my report? CME Fed Watch tool. There we go. Yeah, this thing changes they must update this every 5 minutes or 15 minutes or something. It's crazy. They got nothing
It
better to
really
do than to
is.
just play around with
No, no, I
percentages.
know. I was gonna say.
It kind of like poly markets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
97.6%. So there you go. It's already dropped 1% just since my news piece. But yeah,
Hmm.
it'll pretty well go side to side in the 90s probably throughout the rest of the week. Next, couple weeks, or week and a half, I should say, till we
Gotcha.
get our report, or 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks from now. 17 minus 3 is 14. Yeah, 2 weeks. I don't math.
I don't math. Yeah, I know.
I can do
Same every
basic
once
math.
in a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I know. Well, you're around numbers all day, and it's just like it's
Yeah.
so tough sometimes putting two and two together, right?
Well, especially because we're so spoiled these days and all of our brokers and platforms does the math for us.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I don't know that I would have enjoyed being a trader, quite honestly, 100 years ago, right back when they
Yeah.
had to pay attention to all the numbers and probably whip out the compass to look at their trends and all this and that, write it all out on paper. Um, I don't know. I like the geometry part of it. It's just the math part. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard this, Tony, but I've always heard if you are good at math, you're pretty horrible at language arts, and vice versa. If you're great at language arts, you're pretty horrible at math. So that
Yeah.
rings true for me and my family anyway, because I'm not the
Uh,
greatest at math, but I could outspell anybody in the US, right?
yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
grammar, sentence fluency, punctuation, for whatever reason. I'm really, really good at that. I had straight A's in that. But on the other hand, on
Perfect.
math, if I had a if I had a D minus, I was super stoked. But for whatever reason, geometry, I had A plus. So
Really?
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
that's yeah, and because to me, I see that as patterns. Well, what do we see as patterns? Trading
Yeah.
charts.
Of course, on the
So
trading charts all the time. All the time.
I honestly think that's probably why I love trading so much, just because I loved seeing those patterns in geometry. Um, but then yeah, you look at like my sisters; they're the complete opposite.
Hmm.
They can do any type of math problem, but they can't spell their way out of a wet paper bag. They're every time they text, they're constantly getting a word spelled wrong, or
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
trying to ask a question, but there's no question mark. So then I pick on them. I'll reply, "Is that a question or a statement?"
Honestly. Honestly, I know words are hard. Yeah. Yeah. I get that a
Will
lot,
you quit
honestly.
being a grammar Nazi? That's what they say.
I know, I know. It's one of those things where, and that's why I like being in the markets, right? Because it's a one way street, really. I don't have to talk to it. It doesn't talk to me. Perfect. I just
Yep.
extract money from it.
All righty. So let's see
Yeah.
here. So yeah, just back to Jolt's job openings. Yeah, it's been slowly trending down over the last year. That's the chart I'll show whenever we do get our charts. But yeah, they did miss by about 200,000 jobs. It looked like this morning, forecasted 738, hope actual of 718. So slightly negative for the dollar on that. That was after a revision, by the way. So I didn't know this until just like shortly before our stream started, but they actually revised the previous report
Mhm.
down. Let me see what they revised that down to, actually. Oh, you know what? I think I actually have that on my other chart, because we have to have revisions on every other report.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Uh,
100%.
let's see
It is
here.
pretty crazy the thresholds that they revise from occasionally. It's
Mhm.
like wow, that number wasn't even accurate before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing takes the taco like the what was that, the NFP, wasn't it, from the last time? Is that the one that was way, way, way off? I think it was. Go look at my charts here. I just want to take a look at that since it's on the top of my head. Labor market, NFP. Yeah, NFP. So, yeah, the last report, or I should say 2 reports ago, so July 3rd, yeah, that was the report where they forecasted 111,000. They came in with an actual of 147,000. But then, yeah, right before the next one, they released the revision down to 14,000, Tony.
Yeah, yeah, unreal.
And then they want
Oh god.
getting an alert set. Turn on my alert real quick. Swiss franc, dollar, or Japanese yen. Getting a little bit of an alert set over here. Where's my yeah? So Swiss yen, that's giving me a bullish score of a 7.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of dropping down into a demand zone, but it's kind of diddling in the middle. So I'm probably going to ignore that for the time being anyway. I think I got a better demand zone further down in the bottom third of my curve analysis. So yeah, we'll just sit and watch it. But yeah, I'm going to ignore that alert. So false alarm for the time being. But yeah, getting back to that jolts. What else did we have? Yeah, I was looking a little bit on Forex Fire this morning because Aussie
Mhm.
Governor Bullock, she gave her speech, and it was basically a bunch of AI type stuff they're trying to integrate into the Australian government for obviously improvements and things of that nature. So that one didn't really affect markets too much. Monetary policy report hearings out of the British pound. Is that anything you know about? That's one report I've never really,
Right.
quite honestly, dug into. It sounds boring.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, in the title, right? It sounds like it's going to affect a
Right.
bunch of different stuff. Scary
Yeah,
titles,
that's true.
scary words again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best thing to do with those types of reports is just to go to Twitter and see what First Squawk and Financial Juice and all these other sites are going to say about it. Okay, so
Yep.
Bank of
Yep.
England's Bailey states, I think path for rates will continue to be downwards. Oh, that's riveting. That's riveting. Hello, Captain Obvious. How are you today? Governor Bailey also said should not over focus on 30-year gilt rates. Okay. So that's basically the gist of what I got off of Forex Factory's X little thread that they put under each report that releases.
hmm
But yeah, it's all about NFP, man. Coming up on Friday. I mean, tomorrow we got a little bit of our normal weekly unemployment and employment claims or rates. So PMI. Oh yeah, so we should have a pretty busy morning tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It should be.
yeah,
I
that's
was
eight
just taking a look
fifteen
as well.
a.m. Well, 8:15 a.m. New York time is the ADP report, the employment
Yep.
change. 8:30 a.m.
Jobless
unemployment.
claims.
Yeah, yeah. I'll stay up past my bedtime in the morning just so I can
I
go
was
through
gonna
that
say,
info.
like, unbelievable. And then like 10 a.m. ISM services PMI.
Nope.
Huh. And then of course, obviously
Well,
for anyone trading the dirty commodities, you got crude oil, gasoline stocks, 12. So and then of course a nat gas number at 10:30. So man, full day tomorrow. I
all
mean,
day.
if you can get out of the market unscathed and just make a couple of bucks, then all the power to you.
Yep.
You do not want to be
Yep.
caught offside. You got to be constantly looking at the clock, to make sure that you're not 2 minutes away or 1 minute away from the data dump. And also, not because of the volatility in the market, yes, of course, but also because if you're trading a challenge account, you can't trade news, stuff like that. You got to be out. You don't want to blow your account for a rule break.
Yep, that is true. All right, let me see what this is telling me. Sorry, back end. I'm just now seeing your chat here.
Yeah, you're sharing the account, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know I'm
Sorry.
talking to the universe. Let's see here. Uh, let me just send a message real quick.
For sure.
Sure, sure. So what we got going on?
Oh yeah, this CJ trade looks like it's primed for a long, maybe.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, wait a second. Reset. Oh, so we're chart sharing now. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize what that meant. I just saw it on the YouTube channel. So, okay,
Oh,
perfect.
gotcha.
Well, now we can share a couple items. Okay, let's
I know.
let's go back to my Dixie chart real quick, and I'll go through that inflation and jobs data. So yeah, this is the jolts. So this is one thing that the Fed is watching. Everybody out there, they're looking at the slow but steady downward trend of these jolts reports, these jolts updates. We had another one that fell short today. It's lower than even this low one back here by about 100,000, or no, I guess that'd be what 10,000. No, again, I don't math. 180,000, 100. Okay, so 100,000
Mhm.
or 10,000. I'm sorry, 10,000. So 10,000 lower than this April 29th report. So yeah, they're taking a look at that. And this is part of the reason why the CME FedWatch tool keeps going up and up on the percentage chance of cutting rates. So that's only one piece though, right? It's the JOLTS jobs. So what else are they looking at? Well, they're looking at CPI data.
Mhm.
And they're taking a look from May, where they're seeing this little upward trend here on the inflation. Now, I look at it as the whole year. Like I look at it as it's a very, very, very slow decline. But of late, it's obviously going up. So, over
Yeah.
the past few months. So they're definitely keeping an eye on seeing that. So that is, that's CPI. What else are they looking at? Oh, come on now. They're looking at the PPI data. All right, so they're looking at this number as well. They had a 3.3% increase the last time, way above the more recent one there. So that was a full percentage higher than the previous report.
Mm-hmm.
What are to the best of my understanding, what are businesses paying, for raw materials or whatever they need to build their products and services, get supplied for their office supply, all this stuff, right? How much are they paying? Obviously, all that stuff kind of, this is where the this is where the big argument is in the U.S. anyway. Well, who's really paying for those increases, right? Are they eating the costs, or are we, the consumer, eating the costs? So
getting passed on. Yep.
The argument to be made on both sides, right? I mean, some things yes, some things no, but the point is, it's a very contentious debate here in the U.S. right now. So anyway, they're seeing that went up significantly. And then what is their favorite gauge? What's their favorite gauge, chat? It's going to be the personal consumption expenditure report, the PCE report. So they're looking at this report as well since the June release. They're seeing that it's going up. So it very slightly was going down from the end of the COVID mess. Then it kind of balanced out. But I mean, look at that. That's 2.9%, the one we had on Friday. That's higher. That's the highest since the same number back in January of 2024. So is this kind of a little bit of a U-shaped turn? Well, guarantee you that's what the Fed is chewing on, since that's their favorite thing. They probably dream of this report. They love it so much. So when you add in the JOLTS jobs declining and all these inflation gauges inclining, right? That's why we currently on the CME Fed Watch tool have a 98% chance that we're going to cut rates. So really, I think the only main question left is how many rate cuts are we going to get through the end of the year? The CME tool says 2, but could we just get 1? Could we end up getting 3? That's going to be the next talking point. But currently, they're pricing in 2, I assume. I actually didn't look at that number, but I know I looked at end of last week and it was showing 2. Let me see here. So 97. Okay, so we've already got that settled. October 29th, 52% chance of dropping another 25. And then December 10th is, okay. Yeah, so 2. So the one on the 17th and then the one in October. Because on December, they currently have a 47.8% chance that they're going to leave it the same from what they cut in October. But then they also have a 41.5% chance that they'll drop another 25. So that's going to be an up in the air number for a while as to whether or not we drop a 3 or just keep it at 2, right? Or unless something completely changes and we just cut the one time. So we'll see.
Sure.
But yeah, that's just, I just thought I'd share that with everybody in the chats, just so you see what the Fed is seeing, right? But they're the economists, we're the traders. We don't have to worry about all this. We don't have to project, right? We just look at the price action in front of us and just trade it, right? Look at the hard data. So for me personally, just going over to my gold chart real quick. After everything's kind of shaken out from the economic reports we had come out today, I mean, like I said, gold is still the number 1 on my watch list.
Yeah.
Still getting that very bullish score with 13. So, all the sentiment analysis is favoring the longs. The technical analysis is favoring the longs. And then most all of the fundamental analysis is favoring the longs, save the GDP report. That's the only thing that's really going more towards a bearish narrative. But again, that's just one report. So, you add all that up, anything 5 or higher is bullish. Anything 9 or higher is a very bullish. We got a 13. So that's still currently my favorite buy at the moment. Now it's overextended. It's overextended. RSI, like I said in the news piece, is screaming upward. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but I'd be afraid to be buying unless, actually, if I just go to my chart itself, unless we can get some type of a pullback. I mean, my goodness, look at this thing. So, this was what made me happy at the end of the day Friday was when I saw that we finally closed above this 1, 2, 3, 4 points of previous closes where they all lined up. But then Friday we had that close, and then Sunday pretty much had a gap up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. And of course, depending on the brokerage that you use, it might look a little different. But you know what? It's actually missing Monday on the daily. Am I seeing this right?
Uh-oh.
So there is Friday
Is it
close.
factored into Sundays? Yeah.
The
Oh,
next
wow.
candle is Tuesday.
Huh.
What did they do there? I thought something looked off on that. Monday. Okay, so there's Sunday. Yeah, that's basically what happened is, well, they're missing the Sunday Monday candle in here, but either way,
Wow, that is
I
interesting.
mean, yeah, I thought something was weird on that. Okay, well, anyway, the point is it's going straight up. It's going to the moon, Tony.
It's going up. It's gapping.
Gapping to
One
the
way or
moon.
another. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think about the best thing I have at this moment is I want to see a retracement all the way back down to my blue rectangle. Because, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I look at like this little retracement point here,
Yeah.
Well, so the one thing I kind of see, I get so nitpicky with these things. I wish the RSI wasn't so dang high on these pullbacks. I've found that my demand zones work a lot more, or they seem noticeably like they work more when I have my RSI where that zone was formed, where it's actually in oversold territory before the push up. So, I mean, that may be nitpicking at this point. 50% might just be fine. But yeah, I don't really have a good 4-hour candle, but I do have like a 30-minute candle down on this one here. So that's probably going to be my favorite spot. And that one actually on a 30-minute does go below. So I do like that. So yeah, it just depends on the time frame you look on. But this demand zone all the way back to that blue rectangle, that's probably going to be my favorite place because, again, we've basically broken through, and just like you hear people say a lot, you need a breakthrough, a high point, but a retracement down to retest it. So, yeah, just give me a simple pullback clear down here, and I'll be super happy to buy that market. Now, will it happen? Likely not, because where
Maybe
is
not.
gold
Yeah.
going to the moon?
Up and to the right. Yeah.
You got everybody and their grandma buying in here, just market order, putting their stops down here.
Yeah.
If I were a bank, if I were working for Citibank or Wells Fargo or whoever, I'd be wanting to push price down and collect all those stop orders to fuel my buy orders. So I don't know what you think about gold, but that's I think maybe the most safest play.
No, I know. I mean, the only thing that I would think about gold is I never want to take a short position. I think I said this to you the last time that we were on. It's one of those things where it's like, don't be looking for shorts, okay? Be looking for places to get long, just like Coach Tiger's doing right now. Because, you don't want to be on the tracks when the freight train's coming. And this is this is not a contrarian call. You don't want to be calling the top, because it could just continue to run. It could just be on a tear up another $100 in a day, which would totally run you over. So, definitely be careful out there. I mean, in silver is the same thing. Maybe it's just like, rising tide lifts all boats. But, I mean, it's been on a crazy tear as well. I'm actually active in the silver markets every once in a while. And, I mean, it has been totally. I mean, I usually trade the overnight session when there's a lack of liquidity. I have a pretty good strategy that's, based off of Bollinger Bands, and it's almost like a mean reversion / inverse trading strategy where it's like, hey, it looks like it's breaking out. RSI is overbought. or are starting to approach overbought. Bollinger Bands, it's piercing the upper band. Like, buy it, buy it, buy it. But because it's the overnight session and the lack of liquidity, usually always mean reverts, and that's like honestly the worst time to buy. So we get short, ride it down, back to the mean, and then get
Nope.
out. But like this has just been one of those things where it's like, hey, silver, it says 9 p.m. Eastern time. Silver just had a massive spike up 20 cents. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Do we get short? And it's like, no, no. That is
Yeah.
a classic bull flag. The Hong Kong session's pushing it up, and the U.S. session's going to take it even further. So, yeah, it's been pretty tough. Definitely not looking for shorts.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tony, because a lot of people use RSI as an excuse to short something.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's just take a look at some of these recent examples. Let's take a look. Let's
Mm-hmm.
take a look right here. So down here, you see how oversold it, or over, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, overbought it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It starts going overbought. Actually, well, it actually starts right way back here. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be this price point. So imagine everybody that's selling right here and then getting
Yeah,
short
yeah,
squeezed, right? Clear up all the way up until it happens again. We go overbought here, quote unquote overbought here. Well, that one might have actually. So this one may have worked out for you, right? But let's go to the more recent example. I mean, we're overbought on this candle right here. So this is very similar to that first example. People are selling,
yeah.
they're just getting squeezed the hell out. So that's exactly what's going
Mm-hmm.
on with a lot of this, probably. So, yeah, just because something's overbought or oversold doesn't mean you need to turn around and do the opposite just like that. That's why it's always
Yeah,
best to, take everything in, not as individual, but as a collective whole. Take it into context with everything else, the fundamentals, the sentiment, the technicals, obviously. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, that's the part I meant in my news piece for you guys and gals in chat, about it's more of a excitement party. Like here's another example right here. Just went straight up, even though it's quote unquote overbought. Same thing here. This candle here is overbought. Okay, market doesn't care. It's going to keep going. Um, so yeah, just wanted to kind of point that out, because I think that's unfortunately one of the first things people hear when they're going on YouTube and typing in "How do I trade with RSI?" Right?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
got everybody saying it's oversold. Okay, it's oversold. You got to sell it, or you got to buy it. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
overbought.
You got to buy it.
Overbought. You got to sell
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's what. That's
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately they don't add the context in of, well, you got, that's just one piece of the puzzle, not the end all be all.
Yeah, I know, and it's kind of one of these things. Actually, when I first started um, coming on the live streams with Hola Prime, I think I actually did a what was it? Kind of just an interview with Coach Sam, and we were talking about like the hierarchy of indicators and which indicators do you put like more weight, more breadth into. And RSI, I think I actually ranked it probably like a third, the third rung, so like kind of lower on the totem pole. Where yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good thing to look at every once in a while, but I don't know. It's almost like, for at least for me, I like almost never look at it now, unless I'm doing that, like
Yeah.
you said, that silver strategy that's overnight. But I'm only looking at it because I need to see, in a liquidity dry environment, or when there's a lack of liquidity in the trading environment, then I think it becomes a little bit more apparent that, hey, you might not know that RSI is signaling, yeah, overbought, even though the underlying commodity has only gone up like 5 pennies or like 10 pennies. Whereas if it's during like the US equity session, right smack dab in the morning, 5-10 pennies is like the range of a 1 minute bar, so that's where it helps. Some of these indicators help in different situations. That's like really the main point to take home. But depending on
Mm-hmm.
the strategy, sometimes they help, sometimes they don't help at all. Sometimes it'll give you
Yeah.
a conflicting indicator than what your original strategy is actually saying.
What is the default setting? Is it 14 on the RSI link,
Yeah,
or is it 16?
14. Yep.
Okay,
No, it's
14. Okay.
14.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Yeah, I mean, I use a 4 length just because of, well, I kind of learned it from a coach a long time ago. So I've
Mm-hmm,
actually
mm-hmm.
been using that mostly. But yeah, even just going to the 14, the standard. I mean, it's the same thing. Same thing rings true. Yeah,
No, I know, and
there's
that's the thing is that again, like if you're looking at, a futures contract or, um, a forex, is it called contract? Is it a forex contract?
uh,
Is that the right
uh
terminology?
contract. No, just
A
lots.
forex pair, yeah, forex pair.
Uh,
There we go. Okay,
Forex.
yeah. So
Oh yeah,
if you're looking at a forex pair, and it's like the prime trading session for that pair, say you have some sort of Asian backed currency and you're trading the Hong Kong session, then it's like prime time for whichever pair that you're trading. Um, that indicator, like I said, like RSI is going to behave differently than
mm-hmm.
when it's off hours. If forex ever really has off hours or like a liquidity drag, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean it's generally helpful. But like I said, if I'm trading futures contracts like the Nasdaq or like U.S. oil, and it's 9:30 in the morning, RSI is kind of like thrown out the window because
Yeah,
hey, like prices going up really fast. Yeah, I can
yeah.
almost guess what the RSI is going to tell me. That it's going
Mm-hmm.
to be like, hey, overbought. So it's just like you take it with a grain of salt every once in a while.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, I prefer to use it on the daily, the 4 hour, just to see. Okay, do I have a demand zone that's undervalued? That's
Yeah,
the main thing I use it for. I mean, I'll go
yeah,
down to the 1 hour, the 15 minute at times, but yeah, my main thing is daily and 4 hour, and then really even 1 hour. Again, it just depends if I'm trying to trade off of a 15 minute demand or a 1 hour demand or a 4 hour demand. But yeah, I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
it gets it's just like any other indicator. You get around news piece or market open, market close. I mean, it's not always the most accurate, but it's probably it's the same with me. Kind of like what you were explaining earlier. It's
yeah,
not one of my favorite indicators. It's just one that I just like to use to filter things out. So
yeah,
it's never a decision maker. It's just simply a filter, just to get rid of some demand zones that maybe they're dancing a little too high up on the RSI table, or filter out some supply zones that are maybe, you know, dancing around towards the bottom. So
yeah.
I just use it as the extreme personally, but yeah, smaller time frames, not so much. Um, let's see, let's go back real quick to my, where did my, oh, I've got my drawing shut off. Duh, Tiger.
Hmm,
Okay.
hmm.
So anyway, yeah, gold, silver at the top. Swiss yen is the strongest bullish forex pair, and then New Zealand dollar just jumped onto my bullish list today. It's the second strongest, and then a whole bunch of fives, and then we got some minus fives. Yeah, strongest bearish item is dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss has been on my top bearish setups for the last 2 weeks now. Dollar yen as well. Those two were last week. Dollar yen got all the way up to a minus 15. It was that strong. And then
Yeah,
dollar Swiss was not far behind it. It was a minus 13, minus 12, something like that. But the bulk of my bullish and bearish items have kind of reverted back towards the middle a little bit. They had a
yeah.
lot of strong bullish and a whole lot of strong bearish. But yeah, with all the way this data's shaken out recently, it's all kind of reverted. So yeah, I'm really only left with gold and silver as my favorite. And then as far as Swiss goes, the top bullish currency pair,
Hmm.
take a look at that. So daily, let's see here, 4 hour. Yeah, I'm kind of left with this little demand zone down here, kind of diddling in the middle if I take that one. So I'm pretty interested in this 30 minute one down here. I mean, it's got a little work to do to get down there, obviously, but yeah, that 182, that 183 round number. I mean, it's right at right at the proximal line of the demand zone. And if we go back in time, oh wait, never mind. I thought that was a, never mind. That's a green, green line, not a blue line. Getting colorblind today. But yeah, as far as
It's
Swiss,
all good.
so this was the alert that hit just a little while ago, but it's just in the middle, and I don't really like that the RSI was at the top in an overvalue state. I want this. I want my zones, preferably my demand zones, to be in an undervalue state when they're formed. So yeah, just give me a simple pullback to this demand zone down here, and we'll look to take a buy up. That's pretty much what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if we have any strong supply zones form on this leg down, then I would, most likely move my take profit to just underneath that. So we'll see how that all shapes out. But yeah, like I say, that one's quite a ways away. It's about 100 pips. So it's probably not going to hit anytime soon. And even looking in this area on a smaller time frame, I just didn't feel too good about it. Um, Let me see. Just a lot of congestion to the left.
Yeah.
When price sticks in an area like this around a
Mm-hmm.
demand zone, that's for anybody in chat wondering why I ignore zones at times. It's because, they spend a lot of time there. So perhaps
Yeah.
the banks and the people that put in big orders, perhaps they already accumulated their order, right? They had plenty of time to accumulate their order for this move. So it's that's just not ideal. I prefer to see just a few basic candles, not 10, 15, 20 candles like that. So that's why this zone down here looks a lot sexier, right? Because if I'm a big bank
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to buy that price point, well, I had one basing candle, so they couldn't accumulate as much as they wanted. Now they could accumulate along the way from up top, but they couldn't do this, right? They could accumulate all their order right here if they wanted to catch that order, most likely. But on this one, they just didn't have enough time. So same thing. There's probably
Mm-hmm.
unfilled orders waiting from the banks and the institutions waiting for a return. So that's why I like that zone better than this one up top. So, and it's at the bottom of the bottom third of the curve analysis, which is basically this swing high to this swing low.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, so that's why I'm waiting for that area there. So that's Swiss yen, and then let's see here. U.S. 10-year Treasuries is actually a bullish score of a 6. So any bond traders that might be out there, there you go. You got a bullish score for bonds going on. Let's see. You ever trade bonds, Tony?
Oh my God, I did it on the institutional desk. I did it one time,
Oh,
and I actually, well, it was one of those things where I was like, I think I was quoting wrong. I was like, yeah, bonds are up today, but in reality, it was down. So like, I never really understood like how like bonds are up, but in reality,
mm-hmm.
it's like minus, like a minus or something when you're actually like
Yeah,
looking to quote it for purchase. So no, not all the time.
I got you.
I actually did take a look on Tuesday or what it was like stocks down, bonds down, which obviously like they're usually inversely correlated. So that was kind of an interesting route. Um, I think that obviously a lot of people are just kind of digesting or trying to guess what the hell the Fed's going to do.
Yeah,
And obviously all this economic data that continues to come out, like you were saying earlier, how you expect a rate cut in September, but preferred inflation gauge still high, starting to tick higher and higher month over month. They're obviously awaiting the tariff stuff to kind of bleed into the consumer products market, consumer services markets, stuff like that. And is
yeah,
anyone really convinced that we are going to get a September rate cut? But also, I mean, the other thing that's affecting the bond market is the fact that, the executive branch is trying to affect the Federal Reserve, obviously, the institutional sovereignty of the Federal Reserve. So
yeah,
I guess that's having kind of a um, negative, you know, a negative
yeah.
aspect on the rate environment or negative outlook. Sorry.
Well, we got Coach Michael in there saying don't short gold or Bitcoin. Absolutely. We don't like short squeezes. Yeah, I'll tell you, when I traded penny stock trading, yeah, the instructor that we had, he would always talk about that. Yeah, the whole point of on penny stock trading, the breakout trades, the panic dip buys, the dip and rip type styles we had
Yep.
was, and it was funny. He said it every time. He said, "Our job is to suck in the shorts and smoke them fools." Yeah,
That
I
sounds
saw.
like a crazy man. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. That dude, he's out of Michigan. Really good
Hmm.
dude,
Hmm.
but he just looks like a good old boy, right? Just country
Really?
boy,
Yeah.
big old half black, half gray beard and mustache, got his ball
Yeah.
cap
Yeah.
on all the time. And he takes this stuff called Alpha Brain. I think it's called Alpha Brain. It's
Off your brain. Oh,
some
is that
type
the
of
Joe Rogan
supplement.
deal?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
he's just always jacked up, and he's coming up with some fun stuff like that. Really, really good penny stock trade. I learned a lot from him. That was my
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID, what I did during COVID when I had a lot of
Yeah.
time on my hands at the time, back when I was doing medical transport. So, yeah, suck in them shorts and smoke them fools. That was what he always said. uh,
Oh, God.
all right, moving over to New Zealand dollar, U.S. dollar. That's a bullish score of a 6. So on this one, just for the sake of trying to get into something here in after hours, I was keeping an eye on this little demand over here. Just a ton of volume hit right there at the what would be my 4:10 p.m. So a few minutes, just a short while after the sessions closed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I guess it would have been 4:14. So about 15 minutes after the market closed, for argument's sake. But yeah, we had
Yeah.
quite a spike in New Zealand U.S. dollar volume there to the upside. So, I don't typically like to buy a zone that's in the Asian market, but with volume like that, I don't know, might be kind of hard to pass it up. So, yeah, I've got an alert set just above the zone here. So I might take a look at this area here. I actually need to draw my rectangle. Just something to get into some quiet markets action.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we go. That's probably my only main one right now. Just get something simple like that. Quick 2-to-1, few pips back to the top. We'll get out of there. So, but yeah, but again, bullish score of a 6. So I feel pretty good about that on a smaller time frame. Higher time frame, though, I do have a 4-hour demand down here. Formed undervalued, so I like that. Or oversold, so I like that demand
Yeah.
there. So we'll keep an eye on that for a longer term. If I get in that 4-hour demand, then I've got a 4-hour supply zone up here that I would make sure I'm selling beforehand, just so that I don't hit it and push the other way. So we'll just look at something like this here for the long-term play. I got a short-term play, got a long-term play. We'll keep an eye on both of those. So that's, again, I do have 5 bullish 5-score items, but I'm just going to flip over to the dollar Swiss real quick, since that's my -6 on the bearish side. Let me see here. Double check one thing real quick. Okay, good deal. So yeah, this is the one that I'm still keeping an eye on, this 30-minute supply zone that we have up here. It was a 1-hour supply that got hit at the bottom part of it and just dropped nicely. So the 1-hour supply zone traders made some money on this one because it just wicked
Nice.
in nicely and bottom fell out. So the question is, obviously that one's been mitigated. So I've got no interest left on the 1-hour. But if we go down to the 30-minute, there's a 30-minute supply within that 1-hour candle. So it'd be this candle here. If I turn off my order block tools, last green candle up before that spike down. That was the Friday Jerome Powell speech candle. So the question is, do we want to take another stab? Well, if we're looking at it on a 1-hour time frame, it's already been mitigated. But do we want a chance taking it on a 30? I guess the deciding factor on that, besides volume, is the fact that it didn't really get to an overvalued spot So I might end up skipping that, but I'm still going to keep an eye on it if the alert hits, just to see if and when it hits, if we get any type of 3x, 4x volume relative to the candles before. If we get any unreasonable volume, we might take another stab at it, possibly. But yeah, I don't like the fact that it's undervalued, or I should say oversold when that was created. So
Yeah.
we'll see. That's basically me just pressing on this because I don't really have anything else. So if I'm pressing, I should probably go find something else. Right?
I know it's one of those things. Don't force it, right? You can't force
Yep.
a trade because those ones do not work out.
Yeah, that's it. So there we go. So that's basically it. Dollar yen, that's the other one that's been strong lately. Go back to my 4 hour. So it was kind of nice. So way back when we had this price action back here in early August, I had observed a 5 minute supply zone right there where that red rectangle is coming out. 30 pips, 30 pip range for a 5 minute candle. And plus we had some former resistance points, a couple of them going right through the proximal line and then almost to 50%. So I was keeping an eye on that, but then price got super far away and I just kind of gave up on it. But this is what it looked like back in time. So this was the Friday, August 1st NFP report. Okay, when the dollar just bottom fell out of it. So it dropped, based, and then dropped again. Well, that base was a 5 minute, just awesome volume candle. And so I thought, well, I'll just keep an eye on it. So I had that alert on there, and I kept refreshing it every week just for the heck of it. But I didn't end up taking the trade because I thought, well, that's too far away. I'm just going to ignore it. And sure enough, look at that. Wicked in beautifully on Wednesday, which is today. Wait, is that today? Yeah, that was today. So that was just shortly before our Forex Fire stream. That's right. I was in the middle of writing my news piece for Forex Fire. That's why I wasn't paying attention to it. So there, I have an alibi.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just limit order it. But yeah, in hindsight, of course, hindsight does not belong in trading because it doesn't pay you unless you take the lessons and apply them to the next time. But
No,
look
you
at
get
that.
to second guess everything, right?
Yeah, that was just a beautiful drop, though. I mean, hell, it dropped over 100 pips. So sometimes,
Wow.
so this is a great lesson. And this is one that I have to remind myself too, because I prefer when I'm trading in supply and demand, I prefer that I prefer that I'm trading in a relatively recent zone, but it just goes to show that a supply zone from over a month ago, a month and 2 days, can still be relevant today, even if it is just on a smaller 5 minute time frame. But with the power of that volume, the power of the velocity of that move, also adding in odds enhancers and former resistance points, and then obviously the volume that we had when it hit. I mean, you just don't give up on those old ones because sometimes they can come through just fine. So maybe I'll have to change my news writing time so I don't miss that London Open. Might have to start writing articles a little bit earlier because 2 a.m. my time is the London Open.
Yeah. You can't nerd out at that time. I mean, there's money to be made.
Tiger, you summer my beach. You missed it. But anyway, it's all good. It gives me a moral victory, right?
Heck yeah, absolutely.
I'm even reaching for that, Tony. Okay. Let's see, cats. Did you have anything, by the way, man? I'm sorry, I'm hogging this. Did you have anything?
No, you're really not. No, you're not. You're not hogging it at all. No, there's nothing. There's nothing going on right now. And there's nothing really that I'm gonna get in front of. My main thing's at NASDAQ. I was actually just looking at silver and then crude oil a bit before. I mean, silver is just kind of getting blown out in this evening session. But I mean, it had so much froth to kind of just start to take off. And and now I guess we're like leveling out a little bit. So no, really, there's nothing for me to show, unfortunately.
Okay. Right on, right on. Chad, anybody out there? Coach Michael, Coach Daryl, if you would like to learn anything this evening, just let us know.
Yeah, I know. We could talk about
I've learned a
anything
lot just
here.
watching those guys. So no, it's pretty awesome. Every
Yeah.
single coach we have, Tony, there's something unique about every single one of you that I've learned. I've learned a lot from as a coach. And, hey, us coaches learn too. So
Yeah, I know.
hopefully the chat's learning things as well. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, every single day.
Um,
Every single day is a new learning day in the market. That's why I love the markets, honestly.
yeah, it's a everyday lesson.
Yeah.
Which can okay, okay. Improv. No problems on that. Let's see what else have I got here. Did we? Let's go look at the dollar yen again. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so that's the one I just went over. Uh, DAX in Germany, and then the Japanese Nikkei are giving me bearish ratings as well, -5s now. Yeah, Coach Michael, that's in the chat. We kind of talk about it a lot. It's hard to short things like gold, silver, Bitcoin, indices when you look at the past historical price movement, and they're always going up, right? So, but for something on a very, very small time frame, maybe. Let's just go take a look at them. Why the hell not? So on the Nikkei, I do have a 4 hours, a little bit of a 4 hours supply here, which is an extension of the arm of my little friendly monster I drew a while back in time. Let me see here. Do I like this or not? Probably going to decide that I don't like it after all, but it is a potential. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Tony. I don't know how you do it, but like, yeah, I'll always throw up zones and then not really analyze them too hardcore until I'm talking about them on stream. So
Sure.
I'm constantly filtering my zones as I'm talking. I'll talk up, some of the odds enhancers that are going in favor, but then at the very end, I'll realize, oh wait, you know what? I might have just wasted that 3 or 4 minutes because this one thing is no good. So I'm not going to discount it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, not really the greatest volume on this one. I didn't really care for that. I would have wanted to see some volume like that yellow bar or even that red bar,
Yeah.
during the formation or leg out. So gonna go ahead and probably skip that. I mean, my first visual that I liked was that it was in the top third of the swing low, swing high. So on the top third of the Hungarian flag, I pull out now and then, but curve analysis, right? So this curve analysis, I kind of went through this a while back on our Forex Fire stream. It's it's something that kind of helps you to really jump into the beginning of those trend reversals, the higher time frame trend reversals, so that you're catching the more higher probability zones that are poised for a big move. So Michael talks about it on his side as well, the way he trades, which is his level 1 and level 2 trades.
Yeah.
It's really the exact same thing as what I call the curve analysis. Just different lingo, but the same idea. The whole idea is, when that trend reverses, whether it's up or down, I mean, you want to catch those first waves, those level 1s and level 2s, or in my case, the top third of the curve. And then going back, obviously, to the opposing supply or demand zone on a higher time frame. So that was my initial interest in it. But again, as I go through it with a little more in-depth look, I don't see any real volume sticking out. So probably just going to skip that one. Yeah, because even if I try to scalp it on a smaller time frame, there's just not really anything there. Pretty much formed during the Asian session back on August 28th. So that would have been the day after my birthday. So upon further review, Out of bounds. All right, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
ignore that. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for football. Tony, are you ready for football? Are you a football fan?
Yeah,
Are you?
honestly. Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, I used to be more obviously when we had the trifecta going on, Brady and
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, but now it's just like, what's the point? Actually, no, we're on to the Red Sox. I was actually at a Red Sox game last night. They were great seats. It
Oh,
was
okay.
freaking amazing. Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, baseball's
I
where
do
it's at
want to
right
get to
now. But
Fenway.
yeah, say
Yeah.
it again.
I do want to get to Fenway. It's on my bucket list for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Yep, yep. Got to get those green monster seats. You get best view in the house.
Yeah. I watch a lot of home run highlights on YouTube from time to time,
Yep, yep.
just because I played baseball growing up and in high school and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
same.
And
Hmm.
so it's always fun just to kind of go on there and reminisce and watch home runs from the old days. And yeah, there's a Manny Ramirez home run highlight on a lot of those videos where he just smacked it
Oh, there's
a
a ton of them.
500 and something feet over the green monster there.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that one highlight is on like a lot of the highlight videos that I watch. So it's always cool to
Oh
watch
yeah,
those.
I
But
bet. Yeah, no,
um,
it was like Ramirez and then like David Ortiz that were obviously
yeah,
the big two sluggers that we
yep,
always had. But obviously
yeah,
their time is like 15 years ago now. My God,
yeah,
like it's unbelievable. How time just flies. And like now I mean they have a pretty good team. At least the Red Sox. They got to work on. Well, they got to work on a couple of things. They got to work on the pitching. They got to work on the bats. Like it's just it's not there. I think the best team that we have now is like the Celtics. But like I'm not really into
yeah.
basketball, so it's just like whatever.
Okay. You
So
know
I
what?
mean, screw it.
Yeah, I mean, I I grew up in Tennessee, so of course I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
yeah,
I so
perfect.
that's probably the only reason I really keep tabs on the NBA.
Uh-huh.
It's just not like it was when I was a kid watching Jordan play all the time. I mean, it's just a totally different
Yeah,
game. I'll be honest, I cannot stand how these teams these days are shooting just nonstop three pointers, and that's Boston's
yeah,
MO
yeah,
apparently. The last
yeah,
couple
yeah.
3 years,
Literally, yeah.
an obscene amount of
I
three
mean,
pointers, and then they wonder,
yeah, yeah.
then they wonder why they lose at times. But yeah, if we could get that out, I just missed the bully ball of the '80s and '90s. I didn't want. Well, I was a
Sure.
little too young in the '80s, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
'90s, yeah, I
No, I
just
know,
love
but
the
again, like
bully
you
ball.
see the highlights. You see the highlights, and it's like a totally different game for sure.
Yeah,
Like how basketball
nope,
like is actually played. And well, I mean, like it's always like in the regular season, some of these guys are just like they kind of throw in the towel. They don't really give as much effort, right? Maybe they're going to be on the road with another a different team later on. So like they just give up. But yeah, I mean, like you said, they're not really
yeah,
like bullying each other out there or giving it their all. It's
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like lackluster, which is again like why like I don't even watch. Like it's just one of those things. It's like
it's
why
kind of a
it's just
turnoff.
so
Yeah,
like lo-fi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's lo-fi, and then like some of the
football's turned
behavior,
into
honestly,
two
like
hand touch, flag football
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a
I know
way.
but again, like it's like player behavior too. Like you see some of these guys,
Yeah,
and it's just like, man, this guy's getting like freaking $40 million a year, and he's like acting like an a-hole. Like what does that teach like the kids that obviously like idolize these guys? Like what does it teach the
yeah,
kids? Like don't give it your all and you'll still get paid a ton of money, I guess. It seems like what the
yeah,
younger generation is all about now, right? Least amount of work, most amount of money.
yeah. Well, and then it's kind of the sad thing you hear, even with the successful ones, that they get drafted or they're doing good. Like you still even after they're drafted. Well, I didn't have any other thing. I don't have. Um, I had no plan B. Right. It was all I thought about was making it to the NFL or the NBA, which is a great goal to have. But it's like, man, there wasn't any side hobbies or anything that interested you. Like it's I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
It would
yeah,
be nice.
yeah.
It would be my wish that they find more things that are of interest, just in case. I mean, it's easier to say that when now that we're our age, but it's like, man,
Oh
you
yeah,
gotta come
sure.
up with
Yeah, yeah,
different hobbies and a few different plan Bs or
yeah.
whatever the case is. But
Yeah, but like
Easier
it
said
should
than
be
done.
like the adults in the room should be the ones saying like, dude, like the chances of you
You're
going
right.
all the way. Like,
Yeah.
come
Like
on,
build up
man.
their dreams, but just throw them into something else, some other kind of interest, so
Yeah,
that
of
they're not
course.
so
Of
one
course. Absolutely.
narrow
I
focused
really
on
don't
only
even know
one
what it
thing.
makes. I really don't even know what it takes anymore to like actually go all the way, like go pro. In any sport. Like, should you be playing the sport at 5 years old, like competitively? Like, is that going to lead you to like the NBA or like, NFL or whatever, like whatever it is?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
or like because then sometimes you have like these late bloomers, guys that like pick it up, guys, gals that pick it up in like high school, and then they
Yeah.
kill it in high school, and then they're like a top prospect, go to a college, and then hop, skip, and a jump, they're in, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I really don't know what the route is. And then of course, like I
I,
said,
I,
you start them off at a young age, they just get burnt out, right? And then they end up hating the game. And it's like, as a
yeah.
parent, like, the kid's looking at the parent like, I'm really only doing this because you make me do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, Cam Ward on my Titans.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he really didn't start picking it up until high school. So, but yeah, then you hear people in the Pee Wee football leagues. So I don't know the answer to that either. But yeah, it's
yeah, yeah.
as long as you don't burn yourself out, probably would be one of the recommendations. I don't know. Even if
Yeah,
if you fall in love with it at a super young age, I guess you can still burn yourself out. So I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
you just got to wait till they get of age and figure it out from there. I guess. But
Yep, yep. I hear you. I hear you.
you know, but anyway, now can't wait. Can't wait for football to start. Get my DraftKings up and ready so I can start betting on some games.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did that. We did that
FanDuel.
coming out of COVID. Oh my God, DraftKings. I mean, DraftKings, I got banned on DraftKings because like I was just
No.
like, I don't know, churning the account and doing a bunch of different bull crap. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I tried to go to FanDuel. I don't know why I couldn't open up one with FanDuel. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, DraftKings has its hand in a lot of the different sports. Even like horse racing. DK Horse.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. There's a little bit of everything. Uh, German DAX and a little bit of a daily supply up here. It's giving me a bearish rating, but again, it's kind of in the middle there. So anyway, daily supply, 4 hour supply within, a little confluence there. Let's see, where is it at on this scale here? It looks too tempting to take because of the velocity of the drop, but I would have probably wanted to see more volume there, and I would have preferred that to be. Yeah, I guess the RSI is pretty high on that. Not quite oversold, but or overbought.
Hmm.
Daily though was
Hmm.
definitely a little lower. But again, it's diddling in the
Yeah.
middle. So we got our swing low, swing high. Yeah, probably
Yep.
ignore that. I probably honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I drew this line. So when it comes to the DAX, I think I want to see it drop below this 4 hour demand and close, and then maybe have
Hmm.
another
Hmm.
4 hour supply form up in this area. So that's why I drew this
Hmm.
yesterday. On this leg
Yeah.
down, give me a supply zone that forms, and then I'll look to maybe retrace it, or even just retrace this action here if we can get a supply. So yeah, I need more information. I don't really have anything. I'm going to delete that alert I set up at the top there because I created that alert way back here in this area. So we're going to ignore it at this point. Save my alerts.
Perfect.
Yeah, which doesn't really matter because I do have the next step up package. So I do have 100 alerts I can use now. I was using 20 forever on the very basic trading view package.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it never failed. I would always max out that 20 and then uh, so basically I had to use them sparingly like fats, oils, and sweets. So then whenever I did have it maxed out, if I wanted to save some more alerts, I was going through some of my least favorite alerts and deleting those just to put put it in place. I got sick of that, so finally they had a promo here a while back, and I moved into the top of the next step up package, and it unlocked 100. So yeah, it's nice to be able to set more alerts, and it's nice to have more indicators. Now I try to keep my charts fairly clean as it is, but
Yeah,
I do like to have my order block tool if I'm feeling lazy and just want the algorithm to show me where my supply and demand zones are. Obviously, I love the sessions tool so I can see what session I'm in. I'll use the moving average ribbon from time to time. The couple different, 4 different ones there, 800 and 200. Michael actually got me hooked on the 800 and the 200 EMA, so I've been keeping an eye on that from time to time. My master pattern indicator, where I'm looking to make sure I'm buying under contraction or selling above contraction into premium. So I like to have that on there from time to time. And then I'm kind of messing around with the volume profile as well on some of these smaller time frames. So it is nice to be able to have all that on here now, to where I'm not having to delete 1 or 2 or 3 of these things in order to go temporarily look at something else. So yeah, it's been pretty nice. And that's not even including my RSI and my volume spread analysis that I like to look at. So it's I think that next package up allows 10. I think it's 10 indicators at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas
nice.
the original one only allowed 4 or 5. I was getting tired of that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I know.
It was definitely
always
upgrading my
another $200 a month, right?
Well, the one I have is 20, because I got in on a promo, so I think it's $29 a month for what I got.
Oh, perfect! Wow.
Yeah, and Coach, let's see, Coach James, because he was on our stream Monday, and he was also on our stream this morning. He said that, and he's completely right. When it comes to trading view, the best time to get a subscription or upgrade your subscription is Black Friday. So the day after, for everybody across the pond, Black Friday is the day after our Thanksgiving. So it would be the Friday after our Thanksgiving. The easiest way to remember that. But I don't know. Maybe they get I don't know. Maybe we only see that promo here in the US. I don't know. It could be worldwide for all I know.
Yeah, that could be.
But anyway, those are the best times to get your upgraded package, because that's when prices are up to 80% off. So I don't want to plug them or anything, right? But I will say
I know.
Yeah.
Use code Tiger for 15% off.
No, I am not affiliated with them at all. So, but I just wanted to say, if you guys are stuck in a spot where I was and you want to get more alerts, more whatever, just look at that the day after Thanksgiving. So enough about that.
Yeah. That's a good heads up.
Yeah. Let's see. So I've got 4 bullish Aussie pairs now. So Aussie New Zealand, Aussie yen, Aussie dollar, Aussie CAD. So let's take a quick look at those. And then again, if you've got anything, just let me know, brother. Let's see here.
Yeah, for sure.
Aussie dollar is a bullish. Let's turn off my volume profile. Okay, so on the Aussie dollar, it's giving me permission to buy. Well, we did bounce into an overhead supply, so I'm not really that interested in buying when that could potentially be pushing us down. So as far as a smaller time frame, let me clarify that. So on a smaller time frame, probably not going to be buying, even if I find a shorter time frame demand in here. Yeah, which I don't really. I mean, that might potentially be one here, but again, 4-hour supply is going to be way the hell stronger than a 5-minute demand. It's just going to most likely 100%. Cut through it like a hot knife through butter. So I'm going to wait for this 1 hour, or I guess that's a 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute demand down here. Like it, love it. I want some more of it. We got 3 big green candles coming out of it. Got some nice volume. That demand zone was formed under the 30 level of the RSI, which is the standard. I like to use 60-40 on RSI, but for this particular way I use it, I just want to look to I just keep it the same, keep it the normal. Oversold. So it was oversold when it was formed. I like that. So
Yeah. Yep.
that is my current Aussie dollar setup. Just a simple drop into there and bounce up. See, I got a blue line there. What's that blue line? Well, that must be a former, okay, a little bit of a former resistance point there, resistance point really all throughout here. Went through the middle of this, well, expansion legs, or what Coach James calls uh, the megaphone pattern. So that's right, straight through the middle of that. So yeah, I like that. I like that. So I'd probably end up just taking a profit maybe right before that. So I'm gonna drop that down to here, just so I remember that I'm probably gonna get some friction there, some reaction. So yeah, that's my Aussie dollar play. Again, we're quite a ways away from that at the moment. What is that? 537. I guess 40 pips. I guess that's not as far as I thought, but what's the ATR on that? Okay, so that moves 45 pips a day on average. So that's the ATR. So a little slower mover. But that would be my Aussie dollar play. So we are good on that. Do have another demand a little lower just in case that one doesn't work out so well. And then obviously a really good one further down. This is a 4-hour within a daily. That's a really nice confluence. So going to keep an eye on that one, but we'll try this one out first up top if we get a pullback there. So long as my bullish score is still intact. All right, so that's Aussie dollar.
Right.
So yeah, so we also got Aussie yen, which is the same bullish 5. This one has bounced into a recent supply, but I'm not really too worried about it. Not that strong. I just threw it up because it did kind of make a little bit of a smaller time frame basing action right up in here. So not that strong though. So I'm open to buying if I find a spot in this area. Where did all my stuff go? Oh, I turned everything off. All right, so looking at demand zones, yeah, that was formed after hours. No volume, so definitely not interested in this. Wasn't a strong push, really. Didn't have much of a fair value gap formed. Again, it was on low volume, so that's a big X right there. Big X. Stay the hell off of this demand zone. There we go. All right. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on this demand, but again, it did kind of bounce into that supply. So it's just too close for comfort. I need a deeper retrace, but 4 hours, just like a very steady
stair stepping.
45. Yeah, that's as stair steppy as it gets.
Yeah, what's the little no go zone that you had on there? Oh, was that one
that's
day?
just that 1 hour demand that formed after hours with no volume and no fair value gap. So it just didn't show any strength, and we just bumped into that more recent supply. So I would expect the supply to probably push a little further. I don't think I really have a play on Aussie yen. I mean, as pretty as that stair step is up, I don't think anything looks strong enough in this area to make it bounce because, like you said at the start of the stream, taking the stairs up, jumping out the window, and taking the window down potentially.
Literally.
Right? I don't see anything in there. Any of those wicks aren't really giving me any smaller time frame zones.
Yeah.
With any volume. So I'm just going to ignore that whole entire leg until we get down to this area, in which case, let's see here. I mean, if I'm just looking at the wicks themselves on a daily, you kind of got some resistance points here. So let's just go back down to a 4 hour. I mean, that's a 4-hour down candle, but yeah, again, the leg out candle wasn't even strong enough to push past the proximal line of that. The next candle was lazy and undecisive, spiked up, spiked down hard again, and then we finally got a decent move there. So I just don't like the formation of that. So I'm just going to delete that. I mean, the daily could potentially get a move, but it's not even that good looking on a daily. It's just basically the wicks. I guess you could call that a tweezer pattern. And that's what Coach James kind of calls it. Except, well, that wick didn't really come down the same distance. But, yeah, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore that one. I don't see anything on Aussie yet. Yeah. Yeah, if you can't pick it out within the first few seconds, probably good just to skip it and move on, huh? All right. So Aussie CAD and Aussie CAD. Let's see here. Okay, so I did set up probably a 30-minute demand here. Yeah. So a little bit of a 30-minute demand zone here. This looks very similar to the Aussie, what was that Aussie dollar we looked at just a few minutes ago?
Yep.
Yeah, and just going back here. It's a 4-hour time frame. Just a slow, steady grind upwards on a 4-hour. I love the volume for this leg out candle here. That would have been the Jerome Powell candle, dovish tilt candle. But I like this one a little better on a smaller time frame because it was, well, if I go back, it was formed after it had been oversold. So I just like that. I just find that those work a lot better. I mean, obviously, I could play the game of going down to a smaller time zone until it is oversold, but the higher the better. The higher the better, in my opinion. Yeah, see 1 hour. Now on a 1 hour, this is pretty good, pretty decent. 1 hour. Yeah, let's see here. Now, why did I ignore that one earlier? Oh, it was because of the higher time frame. Okay. So yeah, the higher time frame, that one's the lowest. But yeah, going to the 30 minutes. Yeah. So that's going to be my main move on Aussie CAD. Just wait till a decline to the 0.8962 level. In which case, I would take a little bit of a long. Just like that. So that's Aussie CAD. And then finally, for the Aussie pairs to finish out is Aussie New Zealand, which is not one that I trade very often because it is quite a low ATR asset. It only trades, well, I keep forgetting it is the same as the Euro Pound. So yeah, it trades 40 pips, well, 39.4 pips on average per day. It's just slow. Yeah. It just doesn't have a whole lot of gusto. Moves like molasses. I like to get into trades. I just want them to move. I don't want to be in a trade and have to set in it for X amount of days, especially because of the fact I like to be, if I'm looking at trading this on a higher time frame, which is where my personal edge lies. My personal edge is the 4-hour supply and demand zones. That's just where I have the most success. For me to trade the Aussie New Zealand, or even the Euro Pound, even though I did have some recent success with it, it's hard to get in on a trade on it later in the week, middle of the week. It's got to be a Monday. It's got to be an early Tuesday for me to give it at least 2 or 3 days to run its course and do its thing. So, but anyway, having said that, on a daily, I do have this demand down here, although it's got a lot of candles to the left. So I'm sure the banks probably already had their field day. So I'm going to probably delete that. In fact, I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to color it light yellow. That just tells me be suspicious about this. There's something up with this.
I know. Who knows if we'll even come back down to that level? Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, you're talking
how quickly we do.
Yeah, you're talking 150 pips on something that only moves 40 pips a day. So I just don't. I think this is going to look very similar to what we just looked at with the Aussie yen. I think it was Aussie yen. Yeah, same as Aussie yen. Just this slow, junky move up. So probably just going to ignore that. 1 hour. Yeah, not in love with any of this. 30-minute. Yeah, just not in love with any of this. 15 minutes. So it's funny because I was actually keeping an eye on this one earlier. Last night, actually. I was keeping it. Oh, that's right. Last night's quiet markets. So last night's quiet markets, I did draw up this 15-minute demand. And I was in the middle of a couple other trades. So I skipped this one, which is funny and ironic because that's the one that worked out perfectly. Perfect. Get in there, probably put a stop loss under here, give it some wiggle room. 5 pips, let's call it. Ended up moving 28. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So yeah, almost a 6-1. We'll just call it a 5-1.
Yep.
But yeah, beautiful. I mean, there's a great example. And that one even formed after hours. But the only reason I put wrapped a rectangle around it was because of the volume. We had a really nice red candle on the leg out candle. So that was the that was the only reason. Because I don't usually trade supply and demand zones that form in the Asian session. I just don't. But if I get volume like that, hell yeah, I'll trade it. And again, I was busy looking elsewhere. Had my eyes off the prize. So I think that's probably the main ones I'm keeping an eye on over the next few days. Yeah, Bitcoin, it was giving me some bearish vibes on my top setups, but again, I just don't care to sell Bitcoin. But if somebody forced me to, put a gun to my head, Tiger, you have got to sell Bitcoin. Okay, well, if I had to do that, where would I sell it? Probably up here. I mean, I love the volume. I just wished it were a little higher up in the top third of the curve. You can't deny that strength from Sunday. Yeah, that was at Sunday open. Yeah. I mean, that's just a ton of volume. Look at that Sunday volume right there. That's just freaking crazy. That big red candle down here. I mean, perhaps
too much uncertainty.
Yeah. Perhaps you could make an argument to sell in that area and buy to cover just ahead of this demand right here. But, because I'm sure there's somebody out there that's thinking about it. Again, this is not a signal service, but if you have to sell, I mean, that probably wouldn't be the worst idea, but you ain't gonna catch me doing it. Let's see what a daily looks like. This is why, because Bitcoin is, even though it goes sideways a lot, those big spikes in between the sideways movements make it kind of tough to want to sell it. So I'm still waiting for the 100,000 level. If and when we ever get back down there, we may not. It may turn around and flip up. But I like the 100,000 level because I've got a daily demand zone wrapped around it, along with a 4-hour demand zone. So if confluence, it's in the center of the daily, and then you got that green 100,000 level line going right through it. So that's my ultimate favorite spot if and when we ever decide to get down there. Which I'm sure
always have to have that asterisk. If and when.
Asterisk. We could all have our hopes and dreams, right?
Yes.
But I don't see that happening. I really don't. Be a big ass discount if we did, but yeah, I think we're going to be. Yeah. That's it. I was keeping an eye on oil. I wished I would have sold this the other day. I'd been keeping an eye on this 4-hour supply earlier because I was getting bearish readings all throughout these days of price action through here. And then all of a sudden it turned around and just went to the neutral. So I kind of took my eye off of it. But let me see. What did oil go to? Yeah, neutral 0. So it's as neutral as it gets. Well,
Yeah.
and I had forgotten because I was still going to probably sell it, but I didn't renew my alert. And sure enough, it bounced into that 4-hour supply right at the 50% fib level and just started dumping. Like, damn it.
Yeah.
What the hell
Yeah.
was I
No, you
thinking?
can't get them all. You can't get
Can't
them
get them
all.
all. Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
now back to silver. Yeah, just no real demand zones in this area at the moment.
No, I
And
mean,
silver,
these precious metals have had such a run that it's just like,
they just
yeah,
need
they
to
got to
breathe.
come down just a little bit, consolidate,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
before
yeah. I
we
don't
do
even have an
anything,
alert set.
Yep.
Alert set until about a 6.5% drop from the peak high there. At minimum for me. I mean, I did draw up a little demand in this area here, but um, I just like the confluence better down here because we got the daily and then the 4 hour within the daily. Getting my confluence.
Nice.
So yeah, silver $38 half. 38 half. 38.50. That is my favorite spot.
Yeah, right where it should be, I guess.
No, a little bit of a psychological aspect helping it as well. The round number, half round number, and yeah, as far as gold goes, I'm going to need to see at least a 3.5% pullback from the peak high there all the way down to 34.50. So another round number, 34.50, 34.46 to be exact. But yeah, on that level, I'm looking at that 30 minutes. So yeah, that's it. 38.50 silver, 34.50 gold. Come on. After
Yeah.
they get through squeezing out everybody else trying to sell it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say those are definitely not what do you say, cheap crab legs? Expensive
Yeah,
crab legs, yeah.
yeah, that's expensive crab legs. Oh, you know
Yeah,
what? That's another thing to look
unbelievable.
at real quick. Market sentiment, retail sentiment. Okay, so gold. So retail traders are 67.74% net long. Let's see here. Silver, they are 80.9% net long. And then what's the put to call ratio looking like? Let's find that real quick. Gold, silver. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you're looking at silver, oh gosh dang it. I keep forgetting. Whenever I copy and paste something to bring it over to my chart, I gotta move my little screen over. But anyway, let's get the put to call ratio up real quick for silver. So here's silver's put to call ratio. So as you can see, we have a high call
Yeah.
demand at the moment.
Hmm.
So definitely I can
Makes
see a
sense.
pullback.
It's gonna unwind. I mean, it's gonna unwind. I
Yeah.
mean, how when is that data updated? Is there a lag?
It's daily. Yeah. So like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. At the
well, it looks like a
close.
day and a day. So today's the third. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what it is. So let's
Yeah.
see here. Let me look over here. Okay. So September 1st. So yeah, that peak, that where it curled around, that's September 2nd. So yeah, it looks like 24 hours.
Yeah. Nice.
And then for gold, it looks a little bit more neutral, but still, here's the gold one here. Yeah, so it's got a little bit
Yeah.
more of a curl up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're pretty similar, but either way, high call demand in the options market. So if there's a high call demand, contrarian signal would say to sell it. But that's just one piece, just one piece. So I'm looking at that as okay. I'll let everybody else sell it, for me
Yeah. Get in front
to
of me.
drop
I'll
it
see how
down
it plays out.
into to drop it down into my demand zones. That's kind of the way I look at it. The put to
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
ratio. I don't want to be doing the selling. I want other people to be doing the selling.
Yes. Yes.
Get
100%.
price
I agree.
drop into my demand zones. Hence my little green projection tools. Well, my friend, we got about 2 minutes left. What are you looking at tomorrow? Just going to be
Yeah.
taking it
I
easy around
mean,
these calendars?
yeah. That's the biggest thing is that it's kind of just sit on your hands. Be careful. Like I said, always be watching the clock to see what time it is because you don't want to be caught off sides, like really, and you don't want to have a position going into some of these crazy data dumps where the volatility just increases massively. Um, but also, it's just so tough because the market tries to find a direction, and I mean, something could come out. It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be bullish or bearish on the U.S. economy, and it's just it could reverse. Like that's one of the craziest things. So like just keep it tight. It doesn't necessarily mean like keep tight stop losses, but just don't jump into trades for no
Yeah.
some sort of arbitrary reason. Um,
Yeah.
there's got to be a lot of conviction behind these setups tomorrow, and especially
Yeah.
for someone like me, like I'm going to be eyeballing a payout tomorrow, so I'm going to be trying. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't want to say trading scared, but it's just one of those things where I'm going to try to, just pick my spots, sit on my
Yeah.
hands if
Yeah.
I need to, and we'll see
Flatten
how
them
it
out.
goes there. Yeah,
Flatten those
literally.
hands.
Yep,
If you guys
literally.
and gals are jonesing for a trade, man, listen, take 90% of your risk off. Whatever the lowest your broker allows, risk that. I mean, I
Yeah,
get it. It's easy to want to get into a trade when the excitement starts, but it just ain't
yeah,
worth it. That time before, during, and after 5 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, each report is different, but yeah, if you
mhm.
if you feel like you got to trade something with these red folder events, just go all the way down as low as your broker allows. Right?
Yeah,
If you want to
yep,
get skin in the game, that's the safest way to do it. But yeah, it could
literally.
also teach
Yeah.
bad habits too. So just be,
Yes, that's true.
just be
Yeah, you
aware
got
of
to be careful. I mean, but it's one of those things where like your day, your month, your week, your year is not going to be made tomorrow. Especially
that.
when there's
Exactly.
just so much headline risk. Tomorrow the name of the game is capital preservation for sure.
Exactly.
Try not to. Literally, the goal is to literally try not to blow yourself up or blow up an account if it's
That's it.
a prop account. So I think that's all the time we have, my friend.
That's it, my friend. Yeah. All right, boys and girls. We will be back in Forex Fire in 5 hours from now, and then you can catch Tony tomorrow on the Future Show. So, with that, Tony, appreciate your
Tiger.
time. We'll
Yes,
holler at
me
you next
too.
time.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, everybody.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.